This presentation is going to be on how to create a slide deck with a background, animations, and a few images, like these ones. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is how to create this background. If you look in my slides, this background image, I can't move it around because it's not a picture. It is actually a background. We're going to go and just have a new slide. And I want to remove the default. I actually want to move my slide down here. Okay, so first we need a background. And the way you're going to do this is you are going to go to whichever internet browser you like to use. And you are going to search floor wall background. And you're going to make sure that this is an image search. So you're going to click images and you will get a plethora of options. It is just too many. And you will pick one that you like. So I like this one over here. You don't need to actually click on it. You can just right click and then you will say save image as. You could save it into downloads, but if you're going to be creating different slide decks and you'd like to have a variety of backgrounds all in one place that you know you already like, you could just go save image as, and that's the option I prefer instead of having everything in my download folder. And then you will create a file folder for your images. And I save them in there. So you can't save every image as image. You will create a name for that image so that it's easy for you to find it. I have created mine already, and it's actually already saved here as floor wall demo. So once you save it, you'll click save. And then we go back to PowerPoint. And this is nice because you could create a different background for every slide. If you want to have a slide deck that has different backgrounds, you could do that as well. So now we go to design, format background, picture or texture fill. It's going to give you this like grass cloth look. That's the default. Under picture source, you are going to say insert. There's the image that I have saved. And there it is. Now let's look at creating text that we can animate. So insert text box. I've just put one there. I'm going to it will increase and decrease in size with the actual text. Now we're going to pick a text. I do not like Calibri. I like to download various different texts for my worksheets that I make and things like that. So you can pick anything that you like. I'm going to increase my size and I'm just going to type in the text. I need to expand this. So animations. And we can make that bigger if we want. I think I'm going to go that size. Okay. So how do we animate this text? Well, we're going to go to the animations box. And we will see in the beginning, they have all the ways that the object you've selected can appear. So here, these are all the ways that this word will appear. Then in the yellow stars, these are ways that it will behave on screen. And then in the red stars, these are ways that your object will disappear if you do want it to disappear off screen. Right now with my title of animations, I'm not going to choose a disappear. I am, however, going to pick a way that I want it to appear. So I want it to appear, but right now, if I look at my animations pane, and there's my animation, the default down here at text animation is that it animate text all at once. So that means the whole word just appears. So I don't want that. I want it to appear by letter. And if you notice, I could also choose appear by word, but I only have one word. So I'm going to say appear by letter. I also can pick when it will start. And I can pick a delay. But I don't want to do any of that right now. And I can preview this. to see how it's going to look. So that is how my animation is. And that's perfect. That's how we can personalize our slide presentations by adding in our bitmoji. So the first thing you want to do is, if you have not already created a bitmoji on your phone, you will have the bitmoji app on your phone and you will create your bitmoji. And then you do need to use the Chrome browser because the bitmoji extension does not work on any of the other browsers. It's only Chrome that allows you to have a bitmoji extension. So if you go to Chrome, you'll see on my Chrome browser, I have quite a few different extensions that I like to use. And there is my bitmoji extension. And you can search in any keyword and the bitmoji app can create, or will try to create, a bitmoji that goes along with what you have typed in. So for pointing, I have this bitmoji. There's quite a few. I'm going to use this one. And what you will do is, just like how we saved images, you're going to right click and say save image as, and then you will save the image on your computer. But it will give you this big long code. We don't want that code. And again, you want to save it in a file that works for you, that you can recognize that this is where all your images are. And then you're also going to name this in a way that you would recognize that, oh yes, this is what I'm looking for. So give it an appropriate name and then save it. Now you will go back into PowerPoint and now you want to insert that image. So we go to insert and we go to pictures. And now this picture is actually in a file. So we're going to say picture from file. And we are going to pick the one that we want. I want this one. So insert. And then I'm going to just make it bigger, make it look like I'm standing on the floor and pointing at the word. You can also edit the mask. So all this extra white space or blank space that is surrounding me, I'm going to move that. So notice I'm moving just the black frame portion. So that's not changing the dimensions of the image. It's just getting rid of all the extra space. And I would like to animate this as well. So I want to animate myself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to animations and I'm going to say, I would like to fly in. But notice the fly in default is from the bottom to the top. I actually want to fly in from the left. And so I can preview that. So there's the animation. And there's me flying in. Now we could also take this animation, the words, and we can create an effect. So over here are all my effects. What I think I want it to do is I want it to shimmer. So notice what it did. But I'd like that to happen or look like it happened as I moved. So notice I moved the animation, the shimmer animation, because I had chosen it after I added my picture animation. It was down here. So it was originally down here. So I'm going to hold it and I'm going to slide it up. So now the shimmer comes after the typing of the word. So let's just preview the whole thing. So the word's going to type. It shimmers and I fly in. However, I want to time it so that it looks like the shimmer was caused by my flying in. So let's see what we can do there. And that's in all of these delays. So here we want the shimmer to say it's going to happen after the appearing. And we would like it to be slightly delayed, because remember, we don't want it to happen right away because we want to time it so that it happens just as my image is flying in. So if you use the arrows, they go up in increments of half a second. I actually want to manipulate that and make it less than half a second. So I'm using my keyboard and typing that in. And for my picture, I'm going to take my picture and I'm going to say, I would like this to happen with the animation. So with previous, which would mean with the shimmer. So let's see what happens when we do that. So we have the word and I fly in, and it kind of looks like my moving in created that wave Okay, so again, this just takes a lot of trial and error and playing around with it. So let's now create the second portion where I have those two animations of the candlestick and the stressed out. So I'm actually going to duplicate this slide. It just saves it so that I don't have to keep putting the background. And I'm just going to say duplicate. So that's Control D. And I'm going to get rid of all of these images because I don't want those on this page. And we are going to insert. And we are going to pick another picture. So these are pictures. They're my bitmojis that I have saved on my file, in my files. And I'm going to find, I believe, my burnt out candle. So here we would like this candle to spin in. And if I look at my animations, there is the option, and it will be, there is an option which I believe was called pinwheel. I just need to find it. Pinwheel, there we go. So that's the pinwheel animation. It's a duration of 2 seconds. I think that's okay. That didn't seem too fast. It didn't seem too slow. We're going to leave this one here. And now we want this to exit because it's going to disappear and then another image is going to appear. So the way I would like this one to exit is, let's see what dissolving out. I think I like dissolving out, but that was really fast. So, and you can see here, even in the timing, it says very fast. So let's change that to maybe just a little bit fast. That's okay. We could probably go slightly slower than that, but not all the way to 2 seconds, right? To make it a medium, but maybe like a 1.3. Let's see what that looks like. I think that looked good. Now, when this candle disappears, I would like another image to appear. So I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to pick a picture from my file. And let's pick this one. And we want it to appear exactly on top. So I'm going to place it on top. And we are going to, again, animate this. And we're going to say we want this to appear. Maybe we want it to dissolve in. And maybe, again, we don't want it to be super fast. I think what's happened is we have accidentally removed the pinwheel entrance. So I want that to stay there. And then I want to add my dissolve out. Okay, I need to just create my pinwheel entrance. And then create a dissolve out and put that up here. Okay. And we said we wanted our dissolve out to be about 1.3. And so notice I had to manipulate things in my animation window so that my dissolve out comes after So this will take a little bit of manipulating. So I want an exit where I dissolve out as well. There we go. That's better. So I'm going to push it up and say dissolve out. And I believe we liked the 1.3 seconds for the dissolving out. So we're just going to go down here and manipulate that to say 1.3. Now I'm going to take my super stressed and put them on top. So the exit, we don't want it to start on click. We just want it to start after we have appeared, and not immediately after, because we do want to be able to actually see the appearing, and then it can dissolve away. So we're going to pick a delay of 0.3. And now we are going to say we also now want this super stressed image to appear. I don't think I want it to come in very fast. I'm going to click 1 second and see if I like that. We don't want this to be on click again, because I don't want to have to, as a presenter, click to make this happen. I would like them all to happen smoothly. So we're going to say this happens with the previous, and we're just going to click preview and see how that all works. So now notice it happened a little bit fast, like they kind of almost happened at the same time. So I'm going to delay this by about 0. Or let's just say 1 second. Let's delay it by 1 second and see what happens. And I do think I want this to be about a medium speed. So let's see. We pinwheel in, we dissolve out, and super stressed appears. I actually need the super stressed and the dissolve out to almost happen simultaneously. So let's do a delay. Let's do no delay and see what happens. I think I like that. So one disappeared and the other appeared, and that would be how you have this. So what if we also want the super stressed to go away? So we will say an exit for the super stressed and pick any of the exits that you like. And that is how you can create a few fun things in your presentations just to make them a little more interesting. Thanks.